Hello everyone. My name is Tanya Adhikari. Right now I'm pursuing LLM from Jogesh Chandra Choudhury College, Kolkata, West Bengal. So today's topic of discussion is emergency provision in Indian Constitution. So what is emergency? An emergency is a situation which arises due to the failure of government machinery which causes or demands immediate action from the authority. India is a federal country of its own kind, as suggested by Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. It acquires unitary features during an emergency. Due to this reason, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar called the Indian federal system an unique because it becomes entirely unitary during an emergency. During an emergency, as constitutional machinery fails, the system converts itself into a unitary feature, that is, into a single unit kind of a division. A state of emergency in India refers to a period of governance that can be proclaimed only by the President of India during certain crisis situation. Under the advice of the cabinet ministers, the President can overrule many provisions of constitution including fundamental right which has been guaranteed to the citizens of India. The emergency provision are contained in Part 18 of the Constitution of India from Article 352 to 360. This provision enabled the central government to meet any abnormal situation effectively. The rationality behind the incorporation is to safeguard the sovereignty, unity, integrity, and security of the country, the democratic political system, and the constitution. So, there are three types of emergencies in our constitution. First is national emergency, second is constitutional emergency or presidential rule, and third and or final one is the financial emergency. So what is national emergency? So national emergency can be declared on the basis of war, external aggression, or armed rebellion. The constitution employs the expression proclamation of emergency to denote an emergency of this type. So what are the grounds of this type of declaration? Under Article 352, the President can declare a national emergency when the security of India or a part of it is threatened by war or external aggression or armed rebellion. The President can declare a national emergency even before the actual occurrence of war or armed rebellion or external aggression. Next, when a national emergency is declared on the grounds of war or external aggression, it is known as external emergency. On the other hand, when it is declared on the grounds of armed rebellion, it is known as internal emergency. The term armed rebellion is inserted from the 44th Amendment. Before this term, it was known as internal disturbance. So, what can be termed as armed rebellion? Example, if India and Pakistan openly accept that they will use armed forces against each other or simply war. If there is no formal declaration that there will be armed forces used against a country is external aggression, and if because of this ground an emergency is proclaimed as external emergency. Next is parliamentary approval and duration for national emergency. The proclamation of emergency must be approved by both the houses of the parliament within 1 month from the date of its issue. However, if the proclamation of emergency is issued at a time when the Lok Sabha has been dissolved or the dissolution takes place during the period of 1 month without approving the proclamation, then the proclamation survives until 30 days from the first sitting of Lok Sabha after its reconstitution, provided the Rajya Sabha has in meantime approved it. If approved by both the houses, the emergency continues for 6 months and can be extended to an indefinite period with an approval of the parliament for every 6 months. Every resolution approving the proclamation of emergency or its continuance must be passed by either House of Parliament by a special majority. Then comes the revocation of proclamation. How it can be revoked. A proclamation of emergency may be revoked by the President at any time by a subsequent proclamation. Such proclamation does not require parliamentary approval, and second, the emergency must be revoked if Lok Sabha passes a resolution by a simple majority disapproving its continuation. Next, we come to effect of national emergency. What are the effect if national emergency occurs in India? A proclamation of emergency has drastic and wide range affecting on political system. The consequences can be grouped in three categories. First is effect on the center-state relation. When a proclamation of emergency is in force, the normal fabric of center-state relation undergoes a basic change. This can be studied under three heads: executive, legislative, and financial. Executive center becomes the sole authority or entitled to give executive direction to state or any matter. It becomes the sole authority kind of a thing. Then comes to legislative. The parliament becomes empowered to make laws on any subject mentioned in the state list. The president can issue ordinances on state subjects also. If the parliament is not in session, the laws on state subjects by the parliament become inoperative in 6 months after the emergency has ceased to be in operation. Then comes financial. The president can modify the constitutional distribution of revenues between the center and the state. The next effect is effect on life of the Lok Sabha and State Assembly. While a proclamation of national emergency is in operation, the life of Lok Sabha may be extended beyond the normal term for 1 year at a time. However, this extension cannot continue beyond a period of 6 months after the emergency has ceased to operate. Similarly, Parliament may extend the normal tenure of a state legislative assembly by 1 year each time during a national emergency, subject to a maximum period of 6 months after the emergency has ceased to operate. And next, the last effect is on fundamental rights. Article 358 and 359 describes the effect of a national emergency on fundamental rights. These two provisions are explained below under two heads. Suspension of fundamental rights under Article 19. According to Article 358, when a proclamation of national emergency is made, 6 fundamental rights under Article 19 are automatically suspended. Article 19 is automatically revived after the expiry of the emergency. Suspension of other fundamental rights. Under Article 359, the President is authorized to suspend by order the right to move any court for the enforcement of fundamental rights during a national emergency. Thus, remedial measures are suspended and not the fundamental rights. The suspension, in this thing we can get it very clear that only Article 19 has been suspended. Other articles of fundamental rights are not been revoked. Only the remedial measures are been suspended for a certain period of time during the emergency. So, the suspension of enforcement relates to those fundamental rights that are specified in the presidential order. The suspension could be for a period during the operation of emergency or for a shorter period. The order should be laid before each House of Parliament for approval. The 44th Amendment Act mandates that the President cannot suspend the right to move the court for enforcement of fundamental right guaranteed by Article 20 and 21. So, still now, declaration made so far, like this type of emergency has been proclaimed 3 times so far in India in the year 1962, 1971 and 1975. The first proclamation of national emergency was issued in October 1962 on account of Chinese aggression in the NEFA and was in force till January 16, 1968. The second proclamation of national emergency was made in December 1971 in the wake of the attack by Pakistan. Even when the emergency was in operation, the third proclamation of national emergency was made in June 1975. Both the second and the third proclamation were revoked in March 77. Next, we are coming to presidential rule or constitutional emergency. Article 355 imposes a duty on the center to ensure that the government of every state is carried on in accordance with the provisions of the constitution. It is the duty in performance of which the center takes over the government of a state under Article 356 in case of failure of constitutional machinery in a state. This is popularly known as presidential rule. Ground for imposition of this kind of emergencies are, there are two ground basically. Article 356 empowers the president to issue a proclamation if he is satisfied that a situation has arisen in which government of a state cannot be carried on accordance with the provision of the constitution. And second, Article 365 says that whenever a state fails to comply with or to give effect to any direction from the center, it will be lawful for the president to hold that a situation has arisen in which the government of the state cannot be carried on in accordance with the provisions of the constitution. Parliamentary approval and duration for this kind of emergency. A proclamation imposing presidential rule must be approved by both the houses of parliament within 2 months from the date of its issue. Consequences of presidential rules. The consequences of presidential rule imposed in a state are: he can take up the function of the state government and power vested in the governor or any other executive authority in the state. He can declare that the power of state legislature are to be exercised by the parliament. He can take all other necessary steps, including the suspension of constitutional provision relating to anybody or authority in the state. Scope of judicial review in presidential rule. The 38 Amendment Act of 1975 made satisfaction of the president in invoking Article 356 final and conclusive, which would not be challenged in any court on any ground. But this provision was subsequently deleted by the 44th Amendment Act of 1978, implying that the satisfaction of president is not beyond judicial review. The last kind of emergency is financial emergencies. Ground for declaration of Article 60 empowers the president to proclaim a financial emergency if he is satisfied that a situation has arisen due to which the financial stability or credit of India or any part of its territory is threatened. Parliamentary approval and duration. A proclamation declaring financial emergency must be approved by both the houses of parliament within 2 months from the date of its issue. Effects of financial emergency. What are the effects? So, extension of the executive authority of the union over the financial matters of the state, reduction of salaries and allowances of all or any class of persons serving in the state, reservation of all money bills or other financial bills for the consideration of the president after they have passed by the legislature of the state, direction from the president for the reduction of salaries and allowances of all or any class of persons serving the union and the judges of the Supreme Court and the High Court. So, as we have come to the ending part of this discussion, certain things which have been criticized for the emergency provisions are, there are certain points, those are: some members of the Constituent Assembly criticized the incorporation of emergency provision in the Constitution on the following ground. Those grounds are: the federal character of the Constitution will be destroyed as the Union becomes all-powerful. The power of the state, both the Union and the units, will entirely be concentrated in the hands of the Union executive. The President will become a dictator. The financial autonomy of the state will be nullified. Fundamental rights will become meaningless, and as a result, the democratic foundation of the Constitution will eventually be destroyed. While defending the emergency provision in Constituent Assembly, Dr. Ambedkar accepted the possibility of their misuse. He observed, "I do not altogether deny that there is a possibility of the article being abused or employed for political purposes. But still, there are instances where emergency provisions has been enacted in our state, but still so we can hope for the best and pray that this kind of situation shouldn't arise more in the future, as this kind of situation does have the capability to shake the foundation of our constitution." Thank you.